Hello, hello. My name is Davina, and welcome to the Studio Davina update for March 2026. I normally would be on the screen talking to you, but unfortunately, my cat scratched my face. This is Silver. He's a lovely cat. However, he's been a little jealous of all the time I'm spending working on my book, and he needs more attention. The scratch was an accident. He slipped and fell off my face. I think this picture tells the entire story. I've spent the first 3 months of the year transcribing from books like this, from, things I've written before in the past, and trying to bring it all together so I can tell the story of how I design and make belly dance costumes so I can share it with the next generation of costume designers. This book expansion is occupying my entire life right now. So, over the next 5 months, you'll hear me talking more and more and more about this. And, I'm going to apologize up front if it gets a little dull, but I am quite focused. Okay, now let's pause for a minute. Can you believe I found this video clip from the Lumiere brothers of the original uh, Ferris wheel from the Chicago World's Fair? Here it is in action, slowly rotating. Now, the Ferris wheel actually ran after the World's Fair closed, so this is not really during the World's Fair proper, but slightly after. Of course, film, motion pictures didn't happen until after the World's Fair. It was at the World's Fair when Edison spotted the work being done by Muybridge. Since many people have called me an influencer, I thought I would take a moment to do some influencing. I have simply fallen in love with this very cheap and cheerful drugstore priced product called Do It All. This is actually a restoring eye balm. It's like having a lip balm but for your eye area. And as somebody over 50, this has come in handy so many times this winter where I've been having issues with, under eyes, crow's feet, all that stuff. This is just so soothing and so smoothing, and my makeup goes on great over it. I just wanted to take a moment to recommend it. It's something I use and love and will be buying on repeat. Sometimes you just gotta mix it up a little bit. I decided that for Q2, I was going to use one of my favorite productivity tricks, and that is making a bingo card. And I'm going to demo how I do that in the $3 level of Patreon this month. If you didn't catch February, I did a conversation about how I am resurrecting old content and reusing it for the book. And because February was a very short month, I decided to combine February and March into one giant newsletter. So if you haven't seen that, please follow the link below. You can get to the newsletter from any page of my website, especially the newsletter page. But also in the coming newsletter, we're going to do something equally fabulous. So stay tuned and make sure that you're signed up. The next issue will be out the first week of April, so subscribe today. In February, I took on this project and it was a mistake. I focus on this for the February $7 video, the sewing demo, where I talk about why this problem is beyond my skill set and where can I go from here. So we switched gears and we started working on an embellishment enhancement for this bra. If you recall, if you've been following me, I did this in a hurry last November, and now we're going to enhance this. We're going to remount the embellishments, multiplying the number of coins and the number of rhinestones. Same plan, different larger amounts of embellishment. Stop by to watch that, also at the $7 level. In 2025, I released the course Dancing Down the Midway, where we looked at 7 different locations where people could see danse du ventre, which we now call belly dance. as people took this class, they sent me their questions, and last month in February of 2026, I had a Q&A course wrap-up. However, it just wasn't enough time. So instead of doing a 3-hour wrap-up, I broke it down into 3 separate discussions. So in March, we have the first of the Cairo Street deep dive, where we're going to take a look at the way the street was laid out, what customers could see when patrons visited, how the finances were structured and collected, and all the details related to this venue. Join me on Patreon for the first of a 2-part series, and we're going to have a lot of fun looking at over 150 illustrations, photos, and more. And finally, I just want to share a few books that I've been reading to get into the mindset and habits of being an author. So I really enjoyed this book the first time I read it. It's called, In Fact, The Best of Creative Nonfiction. And while this is an older book, I really enjoy the point of view and the suggestions throughout. I would like my nonfiction work to be interesting and intriguing. So this is the book. If you're a writer of nonfiction and you want to give it a little bump up or an edge, this is a good one. The other book I recommend is Stephen King's On Writing. Now, while he's a novelist, he goes into his process, his habits to be a productive writer, and is one of the greatest writers of our time. This book is very good. Now, I'm listening to this one on audiobook via Audible, and I find that it's a very quick listen. But even if you're not a writer, this is a memoir as well. And so if you're a fan of Stephen King, definitely check this one out. It's really, really a good book. And so now I'm off to go through some more photographs, trying to hone in on which ones are the best for this upcoming book, Costume from the Hip 30-year anniversary edition. Now, how to choose a backbend. There's so many. Anyways, thank you so much for your support. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you at the next video.